Evil is not born, it is taught. And there are countless examples of this in Star Wars, whether that be through Maul, Boba Fett, Jar Jar Binks, Asajj Ventress, and many, many more. All of these fail in comparison to Darth Vader. Born as a slave, then lost his mother, then his arm, then his sister-like student, and on top of all of that, forced to live in complete agony, it seems as if Darth Vader was destined to live a life without meaning and a life without happiness. Yet as shocking as it may seem, when he lost to Obi-Wan and was gently cooked over a relatively small and harmless fire, he would actually be happy that he would be forced to spend the rest of his life in a suit. He was happy he lost to Obi-Wan, but why? The insights into Darth Vader's early years as a Sith is presented in the canon novelization of Lords of the Sith, which are both fascinating and deeply unsettling. This novel delves into the complex psychological and physical journey that Vader endured in the wake of his catastrophic defeat on Mustafar and the rise of the Galactic Empire. While the book explores a wide range of themes and events, today we are focusing on a particularly chilling passage that reveals how Vader coped with his loss to Obi-Wan and his perspectives on his disfigured body, but more importantly, his evolving relationship with his suit, a suit that would become both his prison and his armor. At this stage of Vader's life, he had not only adapted to the limitations and pain inflicted by his mechanical body, but he had also fully embraced it as a critical extension of his identity and power. The scene begins with Vader waking up from a Sith meditation, a practice that no longer centers on peace as it once had when he was a Jedi, but instead sharpens his anger and deepens his connection to the dark side. The passage begins as followed. Vader completed his meditation and opened his eyes. His pale, flame-scarred face stared back at him out of the reflective black transparent steel of his pressurized meditation chamber. Without the neural connection to his armor, he was conscious of the stumps of his legs, the ruin of his arms, and his perpetual pain in his flesh. He welcomed it. Pain fed his hate, and his hate fed his strength. Once as a Jedi, he had meditated to find peace. Now he meditates to sharpen the edges of his anger. He stared back at his reflection for a long time. His injuries had deformed his body and it left it broken, but they perfected his spirit, strengthening his connection to the Force. Suffering had birthed insight. This stark imagery sets the stage for understanding Vader's inner thoughts. Unlike Anakin, who once sought harmony and peace, Vader now reveals that through his agony and suffering, it fuels his strength. His broken body, which others might see as a curse, for him became a crucible of transformation, refining his spirit and forging a deeper bond with the Force. The passage continues with, an automated metal arm held his armor's helmet and faceplate over his head. A doom soon to ascend, the eyes of the faceplate, which had intimidated so many, were no peer to his unmasked eyes. From within the sea of scars, his gaze shimmered with controlled, unharnessed fury. The secondary respirator, still attached to him, always attached to him, masked the ruins of his mouth, and the sound of his breathing echoed off the walls. Drawing on the Force, he activated the automated arm and descended the helmet and faceplate that wrapped his head in metal and plasteel, the shell of which he existed. He welcomed the spikes of pain when the helmet's neurological needles stabbed into the flesh of his skull and the base of his spine, unifying his body, mind, and armor to form an intercom unit, where man and machine were one. He no longer felt the absence of his legs or arms, the pain of his flesh, but the hate remained, and the rage still burned, though he never relinquished. And he never felt more connected to the Force than when his fury burned. With an effort of will, he commanded the onboard computer to link the primary respirator to the secondary, and to seal the helmet and neck, encasing him fully. He was home. Now, this moment captures the essence of Vader's transformation. What many would view as a prison or as a curse, now Vader viewed as his home. He welcomed it. The armor, once a symbol of his failure, now became a tool that separated him from the distractions of the flesh, and it heightened his connections with the Force. It continues with, once he had found the armor hateful and foreign, now he knew better. He had realized that he had always been fated to wear it. Just as the Jedi had always been fated to fail their principles, he had always been fated to face Obi-Wan and fail on Mustafar. And in failing, he learned. The armor separated him from the galaxy, from everyone. It made him singular, freeing him from the needs of the flesh, the concerns of the body that once had plagued him. It allowed him to focus solely on his relationship with the Force. It terrified others, he knew that, and it pleased him. Their terror was a tool he used to accomplish his ends. Yoda had once told him that fear leads to hate, and hate to suffering. But Yoda had been wrong. Fear had been a tool used by the strong to cow the weak. Hate was the front of true strength. Suffering was not the result of the rule of the strong over the weak, order was. By its very existence, the Force mandated the rule of the strong over the weak. The Force mandated order. The Jedi had never seen that, so they misunderstood the Force and were destroyed. But Vader's master saw it. Vader saw it. And so they were strong. And so they ruled. And the passage ends with that. This passage is profound for a variety of reasons. It offers a glimpse into how Vader rationalized his defeat and how he came to see the suit as a necessary extension of his identity. He embraced it as a vital lesson. Rather than despising his loss and his suffering, he embraced them as vital lessons, tools to refine his connection to the dark side. And it's a chilling reminder of the depth of his fall in the mindset that allowed Vader to become one of the galaxy's most feared figures. When viewed through these lenses, Vader's transformation becomes more than just a physical transformation, but spiritual, proof that he had become more powerful than he ever was before, but also far more monstrous. While I personally don't think I would like living in a metal suit for the rest of my life, all the power for Vader for liking it, and learning how to use it for his own personal advantage. But anyway, that is how Vader viewed his defeat to Obi-Wan and why he was proud of it. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. It would mean a lot to me if you could like and subscribe, as it would help the channel out a ton. And with that, my fellow Star Wars nerds, may the Force be with you.